Okay. All right. It looks like we're back. Jesus. Finally. Oh my god. I'm sorry about that. And, here I thought, I'd done good with the prep. And apparently I still managed to fuck things up. So that's great. Let me move my mic. All right. Get the link. Tweet that out. And we're live. Whew. Okay. Okay. Man, a lot to talk about. Ugh. Couple more? No, we're at 207. Jeez. Yeah. Really messed that one up. All right. So, hi everyone. Jared here. Back from the hiatus last weekend. My friend from high school from New Hampshire, he came down to visit me for an early birthday celebration. So that's kind of why I was out last week. Also, I've just been feeling very not terribly great the past week and a half. Things just kind of all got to me at once, I think. I've been feeling really not good, but I'm kind of out of that, I think. I'm a little better now. You'll also notice that uh, I think it's pretty prominent in the background. The AC is just running. Normally, when I stream, I am courteous enough to turn off the AC while it's going, but right now it's like 95 degrees in Boston, and I just I do not think I could do without at the moment. So my apologies. I tried tweaking the audio levels, and I'm just gonna have to remember to try and speak a little louder this session. But I know I'm going to fail at that at points, so my apologies. Also, big, big update in terms of, well, there are a couple updates. First off, you'll notice this is, oh, I had Audacity open just to check things, and maximum action. We are back on the Alienware laptop. Other side managed to finally mail this out, which is great. So I'm on a machine where we can actually stream and like play the blockout at the same time, as opposed to the other laptop. So things are going to go a little more smoother from now on. And it's great to know because now this thing is just it's mine. My parents sent me a check so that I could pay for this thing as sort of a birthday gift. So it's nice to know that like this thing is not going anywhere. I feel a little more secure now because of that, and I know I can do work and play a little more up to date games, just to keep things fresh while I apply for work. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I also put in a bunch of extra work a couple weeks ago, and I'm really happy to say that the very base blockout is done. And so I've been kind of doing little things here and there. You'll notice I've added funk liquid volumes, if that is indeed the right entity. Yeah, kind of liquid water. Yes. Um, just been adding those. I don't know, just cause it's nice. It gives us a better sense of the space and like what each function is. Um, there are some areas where I need to put in more geometry or decoration so that we can actually get some of these portals, these viz portals working, because they're not really closing off and rendering properly right now, at least a good deal of them. Um, but um, yeah, I mean, that's all going to be stuff we're going to tweak for gameplay implementation, and we're also going to start getting into the next step, which is actually getting this to be sort of a playable experience, which will be exciting. So what does that involve for a dark mod map, basically? So this is a little tricky because the first time I ever did like a full 3D level was for Half-Life 2, and it was just for a college project. And basically, my process basically just mimics those steps. Maybe I should change it up every now and again, but that's what I'm doing here. So what it involves is, blockout is the first thing. Then you go with gameplay, and then you test it, and then you start decorating it. That being in terms of like a texture pass or a lighting pass or a sound pass, and then you test it again. You do final tweaks, and then you just kind of iterate on that until you feel like it's ready. So, in the context of Half-Life, what is gameplay? Gameplay is placing enemies, making sure that they kind of all swarm in, making sure that certain doors become locked or unlocked depending on what the player does. There might be like a physics puzzle here or there. There might be a what's it like switches that you have to hit or something like that. And it's pretty easy in terms of the sort of entity scripting thing. Like, it's all just like tools in editor. It's really easy to copy and paste values and get everything working and working properly for that. But the thing is that doesn't really like alter any of the other things. It doesn't really interact with like the geometry, or like it doesn't require you to change the geometry over the course of like implementing gameplay. It doesn't really require you to change lighting or sound in terms of implementing gameplay. But in Thief, or the Dark Mod in this case, that absolutely affects lighting, and that absolutely affects texturing and geometry. And it has all the scripted stuff as well. Like the player goes to this point and they complete this objective, or you're placing like AI and enemy patrols and things like that. And we'll get to at least a little of that stuff today, because doing more geo work is just probably going to be like really boring. But what's it? The crucial thing is that for Thief, I had to basically change and adapt things because, in terms of like level design docs that I made, because the type of floor texture that you are walking on or running on or what have you affects how loud you are, and basically affects how noticeable you are to AI, as well as the light levels that affects it. So you have to at least specify a bit, um, where you want, or what like type of surface you want in particular places, and then you have to think in terms of like, does that fit with the fiction? Because having like a massive like carpet surface out in an exterior environment, like a street, that would be really weird. So you can't do things like that. Um, and so this is very strange because, as we've been talking about, or as I've been sweatily and maybe not overly convincingly been explaining, um, the geometry and rendering is being cut up all the time into volumes by the edges of these brushes. And things like, is this a funk static? No, I don't think so. No, it's world spawn. How about this? I believe this is, yes, there we go. Okay. So the things with like funk static geometry is that it is there. It does have collision and everything, but it won't cut up the viz tree or visualization. Basically, if the player were to like crouch behind here, this the game is basically going to treat everything on the other side of it as if it should be rendered, or basically like it's going to treat this thing as if it were transparent, except for like when it draws us over things, meaning it's not blocking anything on the other side. So those are basically the tools we have, and the problem that we're going to run into is that oh, come on, work with me. The problem we're going to run into is that, like, we want fairly arbitrary shapes here, in terms of what floor textures we are going to be using. Like, this is just sort of cut in order to fit this like meeting room, and it's like strange because it's got a lot of 45-degree angles, but like creating a world spawn brush here on the second floor, and then creating one here, and then creating this as a separate, like, you could probably do this in 3. Creating all that just basically adds like a ton of data to the viz tree, and so we really can't do that because our map is going to run like shit. So basically, how do you implement all of these different surfaces at whatever shape you want, without cutting up the viz tree? And basically, and I don't know if this is like what a bunch of like other dark mod mappers do. I should probably like poke it in and look at that at some point at other people's maps. But basically, what I did was, okay, let's say we have like a diamond shape here for like, yeah, let's go grass. So basically what I do is I'm going to, for example, add a really thin brush on top of here that's going to be a grass texture, and I'm going to make that a funk static, and basically there will be this like underlying surface at this elevation that I'm going to try to have be as few brushes as possible to keep the viz tree as simple as possible, and then on top of that we can just do whatever we want with func static brushes. So, for example, and the grid size is set to 1. I really do not want to work that small right now. So here, and actually let's make that like 4 units. That's thin enough for demonstration purposes. 128 square. And basically, do we have... I don't have any grass textures in the palette yet. Nature grass. Grass 4, grass patch, no. Short dry, grass, dark, apply. Okay, so we've got our grass texture here, and was it 45 degrees, and I'm going to, yeah. So again, if we just leave this here, and if we were to like cut into this like surface, we would need to create brushes that go this way, brushes that go that way, in order to like perfectly fit this in like a puzzle piece. And again, that just adds like way too much data if you're going to be doing this throughout the whole goddamn map. So instead of that, just make that a func static. There we go. You can see that now. Q. Yes, there we go. And then, you can place this, wherever you want, really. And then, you tweak to whatever needs you have. And then you change up the floor texture, you change up, the size or the shape or the proportion. But yeah, basically we're just going to be adding this thin layer of func static where we can. And that's going to basically be our solution to getting certain areas covered as certain materials. The problem with that, only from a streaming perspective, is that it basically just looks like more blockout, which is more geo work. So I promise that I'm gonna try and do. I'll do a little of this today, and then I'm going to also fit in some time today to just implement some basic like AI patrolling and things like that. Actually, if I start with the ship, which I want to for each of these steps again, if I do this for the ship, then I can probably get most of the areas done, and then I can just go to like getting guards patrolling on the ship and adding lights and things like that. So yeah. So yeah, that'd be a good place to start, probably. Yes, and I said I wanted to do every step in the ship first to have it sort of be a microcosm and to assess technical feasibility. So yeah, I should actually continue to do that. So. Alright, so in terms of the ship, we don't really have a lot of variation for material areas. We do have some below deck. Like there's going to be a carpet here. There's going to be a little carpet in the bedrooms. No real carpet in the captain's quarters. Like, this is supposed to be a bed to just give you a sense of like what's there. Maybe there should be. Yeah, like right below the dining room table. Well, dining table. There's no real dining room there. As well as, you know, the metal safe. So, yeah. Yeah, this will be good to start. We get a little sample taster of like what we're going to be doing, and then we'll just move on to more visually engaging stuff like AI, so, and patrol placement. So, if we, and this is not func static yet, I want to, once we're done here, I want to basically group all these together into one giant func static, and that'll just sort of form the interior of the ship. But it's gonna make it like way more of a pain to edit. Alright, so let us take a look. So I just want a big carpet here, mostly because the way this thing is going to be sailing through the canals. Oh, I should bump out the far clip plane a little more. There we are. Hey, there we go. The way this thing is going to be sailing, it's sort of going to be low down here, like the opening on the stern, I mean. So like it's easiest if the player like jumps down here and land, like climbs up, for instance. So I kind of want it to be hard if the player's gonna come through here, because it's sort of the most obvious entry point. But there's gonna be, you know, the guards playing poker here, so it should be pretty visible if the player comes in through here. But I also want to be a little forgiving, so I'm gonna be adding that carpet. So for this, for the ship specifically, I don't think we need to be I don't think we need another func static overlaid on top of this necessarily, because this whole thing, the whole interior, is going to be one func static. So in this case, I feel like it's alright to just make this a different brush. Like, we'll create a carpet textured one here and then like surround it with a wood texture. So for this, let me measure this out. So I think that's just going to be like 32 units in from the door here, if I'm correct with my diagrams. Yep. And the carpet itself is, I want to say 128. No, it's 160. No, it's 128 plus 16, which will be 144, I believe. And then from the edge here, the ends are going to be about 48 units in. Alright, so let's just move this in. I'll have the grid size at 16 to make this easier. So do that, do a 32 unit thing. Texture, what is that? Shipworn? Yes. That's a funky thing about the new editor. It like has different scales depending on or different scaling of the texture depending on like the original size of the brush that you're working with, which is gonna be a pain when we do the decoration, because we're gonna have to make all this like scale uniformly and match. Yeah, so let me see. It looks to me like these are not at the same height. No, they are not. Because I think this is like 8 units. 8 units high, I mean. And yeah. This is 32 units, but it's also partly overlapping there, so I'm just going to add 8. Stretch this out. That right there is, what do we say, 144? Yeah, there we go. Oh, lines up perfectly. Beautiful. And then from here, we said 48 units in. So if this is snapping to 8, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in. This looks a little squat, you know? So let me stretch that out, like another 8 units on each side. That's a little better. And what do we have for carpet texture? Okay. I mean, that's what we have now. We'll tweak it later. I'm also wondering if it would make a little sense. I mean, this is like a not very important detail right now. But like if we add like a unit or two of height there, yeah, like that, just to make it look like it's a carpet laying on top of it and it has a little thickness. Again, that is not terribly important at the moment, but it's nice to consider these things. At least at some point. Yes, if I copy this, stretch it out, and there we are. Stretch that out. Hang on. Are these? Well. Oh yeah, is that off center? Might be. So like 44. And that. Oh no, that was fine. Then maybe that looks, yeah, it looks more centered, I think, at least relative to the door. Oh yeah, we were gonna plug these up at some point, huh? Might as well do it now. Split tool and boom. That's not peeking through. No, it's good. No, that is absolutely not what I wanted. And then again, split tool. All right. So that's nice. Will you make sounds for the ship? I need to go buy cake, but I'll be... I'm sorry, that was just a very random thing to comment. Sounds for the ship. You mean like ambience? Like... Maybe. I have a feeling those will... You know, I don't even know what they have for audio assets, but I would assume that there's a lot of stuff we can do for like wood creaking and you know, like water splashing and things like that. I am wondering if they will have like a water draining sound for the canal. I'll have to take stock of that at some point, and if not, you know, I could, you know, I have a bathtub, I guess. Like, I have a bathtub and a microphone. Okay, so on top of that, oh, we did not actually make doorways for the crew quarters here. That'd be good to do now. So let me grab a door prefab from over here. Oh, not on the 45. That'd be weird. And zoom back over to here and copy paste. Or no. Move this here and then W down. Oh, we have a gap there. Alright, so down, and that's lined up with the floor. That's good. For this, just gonna split it. That. Okay, so real cramped. Like maybe too much. And of course the other gap's there too. Jeez. If I raise this up, will there be Z fighting? I don't think so. Let me just check. Yep, looks good. Okay, so this is interesting. We've already kind of cut it up a little. So let's do that. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna do is move that here, and then get sort of a center wood brush here. That. Okay, so this is going to be pretty cramped, and it looks to me like we're only really going to have this be 16 units within this wall. 1, 2, we're on grid size 4, so 3, 4. All right. Then I don't like adding the idea, or I don't like the idea of adding a another brush just to plug that up. I don't know. Maybe if I just, I think if I make those flush with each other, and then actually just add a 16 wide here, that'll be okay. Yeah, that's covered by the wall. All right. So 16, and then it looks like I do not like this guy. Clearly, I think that's needs to keep its shape to plug up this. So let me just push that in. One more to avoid Z fights. And good to see you are back. How was the job stuff? Far Cry 3 had a good ship mission. Solid. Oh, nice. Job stuff. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know, man. I've been applying around. Not too, I don't know. I feel like I should be applying at like a faster rate than I am. uh, was it? Oh, actually, if I move this in 2, 3, 4, 16 units, and then I stretch this out. Oh, I think one more. Yeah, I can cut down on a couple brushes. Yeah, I should definitely be applying at a faster rate. The thing is that for unemployment, for Massachusetts, you need to log at least 3 attempts at finding work a week in order to be eligible to receive your next week's unemployment payment. And it kind of makes me nervous because I feel like there are definitely like a lot of places that I could find and just like apply for all at once, but then it's like, once you do that, once you do that and you're just kind of sitting around and you're waiting, it's like, okay, well, what 3 job seeking activities could I do, like, in a week, like, or like during a week, like next month, or during a week in like September. And like, I don't know. And so basically it makes me like very cautious and reserved, and I'm like, I just want to apply to 3 places so that, and like keep a mental tab of places I can apply to like next week, and I'll have like my 3 lined up for next week to apply to. Another thing about that is that for the unemployment, you need to apply to, or you need to do job seeking activities 3 times a week on 3 separate days. So if I just applied to 3 places like Monday, that doesn't count. That only counts as 1, which really sucks because it really demotivates me from like doing multiple in a day. And I think it's kind of dumb. I definitely should be a little more aggressive on that, and just you know, yeah. Not sure where I was going with that, but and then this, that's not what I want. Oh, I can just do layout. I was looking at the wrong diagram for the ship, or not the wrong diagram, but just like the diagram that has like the player path and like the shadowed areas marked, so there's just like a lot more like noise on there. Makes it harder. So that's gonna be 48 units of carpet. And again, we're gonna go with this just because we have it in the texture palette at the moment. How wide is the thing gonna be? It's gonna be 160. 160. Oh, that's 44. Okay, 160 is still beyond this. It's probably the wall thickness that I've not taken into account. So I'm just gonna do like 16 units in from like where this goes, and that is 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so just 4 more units. All right. That's good. Um, yeah, so that's basically that. I did go out on uh, Thursday evening because there was a local game dev meetup. And I actually met people from places that I had been applying to and wanted to apply to. So it's really nice. There were like 3 people I met there who were all at Ghost Story, which is really that was quite a coincidence. Um, and I'm really excited I got to meet them. If you don't know, Ghost Story is kind of what Irrational Games kind of ship of Theseus into. It is basically where Ken Levine is at right now. Like he's still in charge. So, yeah, it was nice to meet with people and hear some anecdotes about Ken. And yeah, and one of the guys I actually knew from Vicarious Visions because he was a QA tester there, and I was a QA tester at Ghost Story. Um, they said they don't have QA openings right now. I applied to a design job as a narrative scripter, is what they were looking for, but kind of sucks because they're looking for like senior designers specifically, and you know, it just makes it harder to get in. And oh, I see. Do I want that to be the card? No, I want that to be yeah, so is that. Met some people from the Molasses Flood, which my application is still in with. Like, I haven't heard from them, so I assume. Well, also my stuff was sent to them like Wednesday, I think. So it's pretty short time. If you don't know, they did the Flood and the Flame, and they're doing a new thing. So yeah, I met a couple people from that studio, and they seem cool. Yeah, I'm just nervous about like how long this process takes. The job seeking process. I mean, because I only have 16 week no 14 weeks of unemployment coverage, and then I'm just kind of out on my own, and I don't know what that means in terms of like time frames. That there. It's like a tiny Z fight there. What's it? I'm on. Yeah, 1 unit. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, I saw there was an opening at There's an opening that I managed to catch like a day after it went up at Insomniac. So I just sent my stuff in there. Oh, Dennis, what up? I'm in the same boat. Pardon the pun. Yes. I understand. Dennis, what's up? Damn, we're already an hour in. I'm always surprised how fast this goes, mentally. Okay, so we have a nice carpet there. Alright, let's do it with the others, and then we will get to the fun AI patrol path stuff. I swear. Also considering I don't know. Also considering like flow of space, if this door is gonna swing out in this direction, is that a strong wind or something? I don't know. Considering the door is gonna swing out in this direction, that kind of means that there's like a lot of space there that would be blocked by it, and that's not opportune, especially for a cramped area. So maybe it would be beneficial to move it over here a little more. Where am I? Okay. Where am I? Oh wait, hang on. I snap this over here. Yeah, that's better. The sky's up. Ooh. Damn, I haven't heard that one in a while. Are you home, by the way? Because if you want to jump on, so we actually have a guest. All right. I also know that this is a very strange, like kitchen door looking ass door. This is just placeholder. I hope they have better materials for like more appropriate looking door textures. Oh yeah. Now that I have the new. Oh come on, 180. Yes. Also, now that I have the newer computer, I started messing around with like a Unity project, and just for the past day or so, I've been messing around with trying to create a third-person controller. Oh, whoops, did I move the brush too? Yeah, I did. Yeah, just because, I don't know, I've been playing Silent Hill and I've been inspired to just make something like Silent Hill. I am, but just waiting for A to be ready to go do groceries. Ah, man, okay. No, that's pretty far out. Okay. Yeah, we have leverage. We have room. Yeah, and I guess I'm like getting better at like understanding 3D math because I thought making a third-person controller in Unity was going to be a giant pain, um, but as it turns out, it wasn't that bad. At least this time around. Maybe I'll show it in a later session when I have a little more to show. Basically, I just managed to get a way for you to have your like camera swing around a cube, and then the cube moves according to WASD depending on the camera direction. So you're actually like moving, like if you press W, you're moving away from where the camera is angled. It's not much right now, but um, it's a start. The other thing as well is I don't know. I've been considering maybe trying to make my own game, but again, I have like 14 weeks of unemployment, and I don't think I can necessarily crank out something that fast because I am not that skilled. um, and I'm also not kind of interested in making games that would be that small, I guess. Um, but yeah, and I've also thought about maybe like if I do a Kickstarter, maybe, but um, I would still need something to show off for that to like get people invested in the concept, I guess, and then also that would take a couple of months, and that would also put me um, within pretty let's say risky territory of running out of unemployment, or just like running out of funds in general. Um, and then also, I think the elephant in the room. I was not around for the the Kickstarter for Underworld Ascendant, but I am kind of associated with Underworld Ascendant, and so I feel like people are gonna still like pin that on me, or pin part of it on me. Which I don't know. I don't think that's. I mean, how to put this? Like, I understand why people would have that association, but also it doesn't make sense if you think about it. But I'm still worried that that'll be part of it. And also, as much as I have been doing this streaming thing to sort of keep content going for the channel as well, I also feel like, I don't know, if I haven't like been putting out videos and then people are like, and then like I'm gonna go and focus on like making my own game or something like that, people might not be happy with that. So it's tough. I'm just basically trying to either land a position at a studio, or maybe do like contract work, I guess. And then hopefully get back on the horse with this, and then work on an albino lullaby as well, which is still kind of going at a snail's pace. I don't know. Maybe I just keep making excuses for me to not do something risky as well. So. Maybe I should just shut up and do it. You know. Yeah. All right. So there's that one. Like that. What association do you mean with Underworld and Kickstarter? Oh, hey Chariot. What's it? Well, what's it? Underworld Ascendant started as a Kickstarter, and it was one of, I think, the earlier successful ones. Like, it was sort of in that post what was it, Double Fine Adventure game thing. It managed to get like, what was it? Underworld Descendant got, I think when the Kickstarter closed, it was like 900,000, and then like they did stuff after, which kind of crept it up to 1.1 million, and then Underworld Descendant came out, the way it did, and fans were not happy about that, because also there was this different perception as to like what it was going to be when people backed it versus what it ended up as, and fans were expecting like Ultimate Underworld 3 basically, and Underworld Descendant was not that, and so like people who backed that are mad about that, and I completely understand. Alright, what's it? And I need to make doors for these, so. Move that over here. All right. Shift. Come on. 90. All right. Do I want that to move like in here or in here? I think in here. So let me rotate that. Oh, come on. How am I supposed to do this? Come on. All right, there we are. Like here. Wait, what did I just do? No, that's not what happened. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I was holding shift and then I accidentally hit one of the arrow keys. So I guess if you hold shift and an arrow key, you can do texture shifting. Okay. Oh, well, this is a pain in the ass, but oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's gonna make texture alignment way easier. What a nice thing to figure out by accident. All right. So yes, 16 in. That's good. It'll be 16 units in from here. Oh, that's not. Oh, I see. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. No, wait, no, that's I'm on a grid size of 2. Whoops. So another 8. There we are. And then oh wait, no, that overlaps. So let me do that, pull that out. All right. Okay, so the proportions of this carpet. It's going to be 48 by 128, or so it says on paper. It's basically just going to be as wide as this opening. Okay, so yeah, that's 112. Close enough. Close enough for my liking. I think that no matter how I rearrange this, I'm going to have to add one more brush somewhere. So, let me push that in. Pull that out. Oh, right, because it's 1 unit lowered. Pull this out. Have this be the wood material. Move that in, and we're good. Ah, boy. Hang on. Oh, I see. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. And then we'll do this next one, and then we'll actually get into something different. Then okay, and in here we got our 16. We this is right there. All right, and I'm gonna mimic what we did on the other side of the ship. What did I do? Like, this is a new piece. Yeah, that's a completely different piece. Yeah, it's 16 wide. Oh. Then yep, basically that. And one last brush. Oh, and right, I should actually like play in the level for a bit because we have not been able to do that for a while. So yeah, we'll do that and just review basically the work we've done, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. So yeah, it looks like we're good on that part. And yeah, all right, so if I recall, Dark mud. Stainless here. Okay, so it'll be level streaming canal / canal, just like the other one. DMAP. Maps. Oh, right, I haven't mounted any. Right, you gotta install it and then. So it's a DMAP. Oh, it's doing it from the maps directory? Or is it... Let me see. Streaming Ah, jeez. Did they change the directory that they're running from? That is not great. So here's the thing. I don't know if it's like talking about this or if it's talking about like there's supposed to be a maps subfolder in here, I think. Is that right? And if I move that there. And of course that's gonna fuck with the GitHub repo. Okay, there we go. All right. So I guess I'll just have to move the GitHub repo root to there. That's gonna be a pain. Okay. So let's go over this stuff. Oh, I can mount this. That's not what I want. Alright, so. Oh, right. Access crouch by default. That's not great. Settings, controls, actions. Absolutely not. All right. So yeah, this is basically mental out of that. Yeah, so we've got the starting area here. Player's going to be facing here for their initial read. Hopefully that'll hopefully we'll be able to communicate like a lot of space there. You can kind of see the catwalk there. I'd imagine having a light bouncing on that far wall would definitely help. God, that Z fighting, goddamn. Alright, so basically I'm taking you along what would be the player path, I guess. There's gonna be like a garden here. It's gonna be light shining out of here. It's gonna be like the player's first real obstacle. those will be locked. Then up the stairs. There should be a guard about there to push the player to go over here. I also want these to start open. I think I gotta figure out how to do that. And then, boom. The ship's gonna be there. At this point, it's gonna start moving. And then the timer will be going. The player comes over here. The guard's basically gonna be moving up and down this hallway and into this particular office. Various rooms here. Oh, you can kind of see a little transparent area when that viz portal is closed. Actually, let me show you. What's it? R show portals 1. Yeah. So basically green means they're open, like those. Like that's obviously a problem. They shouldn't be open from here. Oh, I don't have one here. That'd be a good idea. Then red ones are closed. Actually, let me see if I can bind. I think P. Then if I do that. Okay, not quite, but what's going on there? Interesting. I don't know if you saw that door down there. So this is a really low ceiling for up here. Clearly there are rendering issues I gotta fix. How big is the dark modding community? It's pretty sizable. Like, it's still really active. And people are still putting out updates to the base mod / game. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty active. Like, the forums there, like, people are there most every day. So yeah. So hopefully this will give us a good display of all the areas there are to go here. Maybe I should have the walkway up here actually like extend a little out and then be supported by like bits of scaffolding. Not scaffolding, but you know, like metal support beams, just to give the player a little more maneuvering around here. Around here. This is where the winch is going to be. And the winch is, or winch or winches, I think. I guess you only need one, really. But that's basically going to toggle a drawbridge being down there. And that drawbridge is gonna just open up onto, hopefully letting the player get onto the ship. Alright. So here's sort of more office areas. Here's the other side up to this main office area. Hopefully I can get some lights glowing in here to like poke through these things like, you know, like jack-o'-lantern eyes or something. I did not place a door there. There should be a door there. I mean, clearly there's an opening, but yes, doors would be good. Sort of aquatic area with what is with this audio quality? I don't think that's normal. Like, they usually sound better, right? Is there something I'm doing on my end? I don't think so. Yeah, these footstep sound effects aren't great. They sound very low res. Around here, here's the pump. One of the nice things about this is that on the diagram I actually like measured out the approximate proportions of this thing. So it's pretty handy to have actually known that there's a model of the appropriate size. Ooh, look at that. I didn't know they were going to do that. It's pretty neat. I go through here. Here's the front of building C. I'll walk around the exterior as well after I go through here. And then here's sort of this area. I'm not feeling great about this shape. It looks very bizarre. There's gonna be a guard patrolling around here. Then you go up to here and it's gonna be sort of a tool area. Yeah, what am I thinking? This is like way too narrow. It's like, yeah, there could be a walkway here, but a walkway to what? I don't know. Yeah, I might have to rethink the shape of this. Also, yeah, the context of this is that there's going to be, like, near the steam engine back there, there's going to be, like, some gears turning or something, and then you go up here, you grab a big old wrench, and then you go back down, and you kind of use that to jam the canal, if you are so inclined, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to have an area where you keep tools, like really heavy implements up there. So yeah, I might need to reshape this. I mostly just did that on paper, at least because I wanted like a nice cool sort of overhang area here, you know, just because I thought it'd be fun to have like sort of covered areas along like a waterway, you know, has a particular feel along the esplanade, I guess you could say. Yeah, and so here's sort of the front area. I need to figure out a way to not have the player be able to climb up onto these on the canal locks. And of course this is just a giant wall right now, but we're going to make it more interesting and actually sort of have like different building facades, which is exactly why I don't want the player climbing up on those, because they can like reach those more decorative areas. Oh wow, we can actually walk around it a little. Yeah. I don't know if you were here earlier, Rosso, but Yeah, I got the nicer laptop back from other side, and now it's mine. It's all mine. But yeah, like we actually have a machine again that can both stream and run this game at the same time. Oh yeah, so here's sort of the back alley area. This will be like the sort of front area for a building, like sort of the, I don't even know what you call it, like the entryway. It might be more interesting if this ceiling was actually formed by like sort of a tower area that's actually above it, like the building kind of extends out, and then you see sort of like windows above there, instead of it just kind of sticking out all derpy, like its own thing. Oh yeah, I like that actually. I might do that. Yeah, this is back area here, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna kind of zoom the other way around, so no clip, and then we'll do it from. We'll walk down that alley from the other angle, just cause. A no clip, if you zoom left to right, you still like lean. It's very interesting. Yep. All right. So here's the exterior of building A, which is where the player starts next to. Magic, indeed. This feels a little wide for a barrier, so I might just kind of shove all this back. But yeah, we've kind of got this outer ramp, an inner set of stairs. I don't know why the city in a medieval themed game is so handicap accessible, but it's nice. Yeah, so here's basically where the player starts on the other end of that gate, which they should not be able to mantle onto. I know there's a property you can add for that. That's a really easy fix. There's also going to be like a gate there, and like this particular face is going to be pushed back farther to sort of create a diorama-esque alleyway. Just imply that there's like greater space going on. Here's the front of building B, and this sort of like moves down. Yep, see? And here's this. That's going to be pushed back for another alley. This sort of merges into building C. Again, I think a third alley. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And then here's the other end of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I think that's about it for the blockout. There's the ship as well, but oh, you know what? I should actually check that out. No clip. No clippo. No. we've checked this out in game before, but if we drop down, I just want to check out the size of these cabin areas, make sure they feel all right. We're supposed to fit 2 beds in here, right? I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't know. We could fit 1 bed in there, and that'd be okay, I guess. How about here? Yeah. Oh, missed another hole, I guess. Right, because this was 1 unit lower for Z fight avoidance, and then we moved it anyway, so. Alright. Yeah, I guess that's it for the blockout. And blockout review. Okay, so now... actually, let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Could not open output streams for writing. What the hell? I leave this thing for 1 goddamn minute. No. All right. AI. So, on my diagrams over here, I have also determined AI placement as well as their patrol paths. And this is a thing, I don't know if this is getting like too in the weeds, but basically they're in the dark mod there is a difference where in particular like patrol nodes, like they can have different functions, and we'll get into some of that. But some are just like, basically point to the next one and then point to the next one and then you just go around. But then some also allow the guards to like pause for a certain amount of time. And so basically, whenever there's like in the circuit of a patrol path, there's like an arrowhead there that denotes a pause. So like here the guard would pause and then kind of resume onto here. The only exception is basically like when it's denoting that it's like going off of this particular area, like down the stairs or something. So yeah. So I'm going to be following those. And then go on here. Oh, there's no like ship wheel, huh? Alright, but if I right click, I create entity. Right, well that was on the grid view. So if I just show you here for the first time, right click, create entity. Ooh, AI. Exactly. Commoners armed, commoners unarmed, machines, mages, monsters. Oh my god, look at all those. So probably be commoners. You do female rogue. What I want? Foreigner. AI more. Interesting. I didn't know they had those. Guard elite. Guard generic. Guard pauldrons. Another generic sword for hire. Something you need to be careful with about this, and they don't necessarily do a good job of communicating it. This was an issue when I put out my prior map, was that some of them have helmets, and they don't tell you. And the thing is that helmets actually do affect gameplay because of the way Thief, for instance, would increase difficulty in a more interesting, dynamic way, is that more guards would be equipped with like metal helmets, and therefore like you couldn't knock them out. So that kind of got in the way of you sort of like clearing areas. So where did this guy end up? He was down there. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go with this guy for now, because I don't think there's necessarily a pirate specific one. Let me see. There. Okay, is this gonna keep happening? Oh, I think it's... Oh. Oh, does that mean like all my... I think it's because I moved the files while the editor was open, so I can't like... God damn it. So if I do like save as, and then I just navigate to... Oh, come on. There we go. Yes. Okay. So yeah, that probably popped up because of the autosave. Okay, so what was it? I need to remember how to place nodes. Yay. Gonna right click and create entity again, and I believe it's like func. Oh no, wait, no. So under AI combat nodes. No. Internal. Where is that thing? Info. No. Ooh. I should not be looking at that right now. Func. Nah, I don't think so. AAS flood. Oh man, it has been a while. Relations, I don't think that's it. Again, info, no. Oh, paths? Oh my god, yes. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. So path default. Then there's path wait. Yeah. Path hide. Makes the character invisible and non-solid. Interesting. So I think just path default will be fine for our purposes. Alright, so basically no. Oh, hang on. So let's see. I think I just wanted him to go like up the stairs here and then up there and around in a circuit. So I don't think the rotation on this matters, but I'm doing it anyway. And then if I recall here, no, here we wanted a turn to the direction specified. No. Okay, yeah. So here we've got a path wait. Oh, come on. You have to start rotating and then hold shift. I hate this thing. I think we just put this down here. I said down here. That should be fine. And then, well, this, just make another path weight there. And then, here's where we actually get down to brass tacks. So, what's it? So this is path default 2. So the way you normally add properties to entities to give them a little more precise info as to what they're supposed to be doing, just right click, add property, and then there's like some class specific stuff that's under here, or typically class specific, and then there's more general things like, you know, name, rotation, color, and then links like targets. So, normally what we would do, this is a kind of a pain in the ass, go to path default 4, okay, did it actually, oh, there is a copy there. Good thing I noticed that, so that means that there's probably, yeah. Okay, so normally what we would do is that we would get the name of this entity, which is path default 4. And then we would do this, and then we would add property, add a link, and then you'd type in path default 4, enter, and then we refresh, and you see it now has a link there. So basically, when the AI collides with this, it's gonna tell the AI, hey, move over there. Move to that point. And then once you hit that point, it'll give you updated information. And so basically, because of this, you can run this whole thing in a circuit. And then you get like guys walking around in your level. Isn't that cool? Hey, Matt, I'm planning on attending your premiere in an hour. Yeah, everyone should look at that. Matt's got one coming on the Thomas the Tank Engine shows. It's awesome. So hey, so yeah, once you do that, you know, you'll have a complete path. But remembering each and every name for these and then going back and typing them, it's just a pain. But if you noticed, I don't have anything selected. We still have target and path default 4 in the clipboard, I guess you could call this. And so that basically means that if we were to select this, for instance, and this will be wrong, but if we were to, with this temp value in there, and we hit enter, it's just going to auto apply that. We actually want this to be going towards 2. But yeah. So then if we click on this, that places those values in there. And then we hit enter. Oh, whoops, not a, I want target, not name. Okay. Path default. Target, excuse me, by the way. Path default 7. Target. Then this will be weight 2. Target. Boom. All right. So, basically a path default. Doesn't really do anything special. The AI just walks to it and gets its next marching orders from there. There are path node types that can have the AI do more interesting things, which hopefully we'll be getting into. But for now, we just need to understand this other specialized path node. And if I recall, there should be a property in here telling you, yes, wait. Minimum time to wait. And then max. Maximum time to wait. Set to 0 if you always want to wait exactly for the minimum time. And so then I believe because of this, if you add both and then wait max is larger than wait, then it'll just pick from that random range. I don't necessarily want to get too fancy with it right now, but I'll go like 8 right now, and then I think I'll do the same over here. And then, ideally, this guy will be moving around once we jump in. Oh, and something you'll keep seeing is AAS in reference to ITTEC 4. That is the Area Awareness System, and that's sort of how... I don't know how similar it is to like a nav mesh, but I think it's basically the same idea. So if we do this, no clip. There's our guy. I don't want to get too close. Well, actually. No target. On.
I hate this shift.
You should be moving, correct? Okay. Well. This makes me think. I believe there was an issue with default, because I don't remember that being path corner. Yes, okay, this looks way familiar because it's one of these oblong guys. So, alright, let me redo this then. Sorry, folks. So let me delete that. Then delete these. Move that up here. Alright, so then path corner 1. There's target. Go over here, path corner 2. And over here, path corner 3. Here, path corner 4. Then over here, what is this? I think it's path weight. Yes. Path weight 1. Then over here, path weight 2. Okay. The other thing I have to consider that might be wrong here is that I believe models and func static geometry can't have area awareness system data built onto it. So there are ways around that, such as, oh, that is not what I want. If we say create a brush here, this is not a terribly good example, but if we add something called monster clip, that is going to allow us, or that's going to allow the compiler for levels to generate AI data on this particular surface, and this won't render. So basically you get an invisible surface for monsters to, or enemies basically, to have navigation data on. And it took me a while to figure out the first time, which was frustrating because I kept having like guards that would not be able to walk up like a flight of like 3 stairs. So if that is the case, then I might, and that this ship is going to get like way more complicated, because then I would also need to bind the monster clip here. I think if you convert that to a func static, it's fine. I hope. And hey, there we are. All right, let's try that. Then again, no target. Boy. Ah, boy. Yeah. It's looking like that's not it, so. So, just for the sake of curiosity, I'm going to revert that to world spawn. we're gonna do this again. No entities inside. Is that gonna create errors? AAS 32 is out of date. God damn. So yeah, this probably won't do anything then, which sucks. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, no. Actually, that does make me wonder, because he did notice us. Nope. No clip. No target.
Is that something over there?
Hey, buddy. Notice me. You gonna walk?
There you are.
Okay, no, so he can navigate just fine.
Take this.
Oh, right. Am I forgetting a property? Oh, my God. Hang on. I think... God damn it. Was that it? Right, you have to have the AI target the... I love that voice acting. Yeah, me too. Okay, I think that was it. I'm an idiot. Like I said, it's been a while. And no issues with AAS. Isn't that nice? Oh boy. Oh boy. No clip. Oh my God, that was it. Look at that.
Son of a whore better have my money.
But he doesn't seem to be able to get up the stairs. Okay. Well, that we can fix. Okay, progress. Progress. Alright. So. Good that we got this out of the way. On to the next split. And here. Okay, so hopefully he'll be able to navigate up there. And if I make that func static, which I don't know if that's what messed it up last time. But we're about to see. So. No, it worked. All right. You know what? Bind and no clip. No, not no clippo. Bind and no clip. And then N. And N. Oh, hey, that worked. I'm gonna move. No.
There you are. Ah! You bastard. Come here and fight me. I've got him cornered here.
Okay, so yeah, he can't go up these.
You bastard. Come here and fight me. Bloody coward.
He was able to come down these before. All right. Well, if this needs to be world spawn, then I think that kind of sinks the idea, no pun intended, of having the ship move. Because I didn't think you needed that. N. Yay. Oh. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's mixed news. On the one hand, it is good news because Monster Clip does not necessarily need to be world spawn, which means hopefully it can be funk static so that it can be moved. On the other hand, we still don't know what the problem is. that's not ideal. Something also small I noticed, and I'll fix this now, is that that is not what I wanted. Yeah, what's it? I don't believe the location of this matters. It's just that as soon as one path node points to a specialized path weight, then they'll just immediately start waiting where they were. That's the behavior we've kind of been seeing. So instead, let me move this here. That's path corner 5. Path corner 5. Okay, so now he'll actually be closer. And then ideally up here as well. The path corner 6. And then can't remember because I think these things are finicky, but I think like they were having troubles in my prior maps if they didn't have like a node like right at the base and right at the top of each set of stairs. So let me see, that's corner 7. Easy enough. And then this will be corner 8. All right. So again, let's try this. This surface up here might also need monster clip for assistance. Maybe that's it. Honestly, if I don't get this in the next couple tries, I'm tempted to just call the stream. Oh! Look at that! Okay, what are you doing, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? Okay. Alright. Yeah, and see, now he's actually waiting here in the center. Okay. Progress. Okay, that definitely helped. And all you need to get the game to do what you want is say that you're about to give up. That's a winner strategy. Let me convert to func static these and make sure that it'll still work. Here's hoping. Attack and T. And shit. Ah. Okay.
I drink horse piss before I drink that again.
Does it have something to do with... I made these into like one entity, and maybe that's not smart. If I convert to funk, then convert to funk. Here's open. Come on. Shit.
Three sixes in a
So, shit. I thought in my test maps that I had I thought in my test maps that I had proven out that it was possible for AI to navigate along a moving platform. Shit. I may have to do a little more research on this. Yeah. I may have to do a little more research on this, and that is probably something that is going to happen off camera. And I am not looking forward to the prospect of cutting the whole ship movement aspect, but that might need to happen. That sucks. Because I really don't want to do that. Google time, indeed. All right. Well, yeah. I've been going for almost 2.5 hours. I think that's fine enough. I'm gonna call it now. Sorry to leave it on such a depressing note. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna see if I can get this figured out for next time. And if not, we're just gonna have to make it kind of a lame mission, I guess. Alright. See ya.